You're listening to Lights Camera Latino, the podcast, hosted by Ángel Fabián Rivera. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms as Lights Camera Latino and Ángel Fabián Rivera. Hello everyone, welcome to Lights Camera Latino, the podcast. This is the place where we dive deep into the captivating world of entertainment with influential Latinos shaping the industry. My name is Ángel Fabián Rivera. You can also call me Ángel, and I'll be your host. You can also find us in our socials as Lights Camera Latino and Ángel Fabián Rivera. Today, we have a Puerto Rican guest with us, Carlos Daniel. He's a writer of popular fiction novels. He has published a total of 4 novels. Caída, which received a special recognition from Casa Norberto bookstore. Walter achieved a second edition with Ediciones En Serio, was assigned as required reading at a specialized math school in San Juan, among others. Walkie Talkie, which was designed for classes at Albizu Campus University and included in the book club at the Inter-American University of San Germán, and the recently published Los Secretos de Belmont, which has achieved 22 sold-out runs in bookstores across the country and a 6th reprint within 6 months. Wow. Carlos also studied creative fiction at the Gotham Writers Workshop in New York and has completed storytelling masterclasses with Neil Gaiman, Dan Brown, Harlan Coben, and Lee Child. Additionally, he holds studies in screenwriting for film. Wow. Carlos, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me, Ángel. This is a pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited to be part of your podcast.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here, fellow Boricua en la casa. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás hoy?
Todo bien, ya tú sabes, y celebrando esta pico que ha hecho Bad Bunny de poner a Puerto Rico en el mapa y aprovechando de que nos sigan conociendo, así que...
Right, this is a perfect time. Este es el momento perfecto for people to know what Puerto Ricans are made of, right? Okay, Carlos. So let's break the ice. What's a Puerto Rican slang word or phrase you think everyone should know? Like, ¿qué palabra tú crees, qué frase todo puertorriqueño, todo el mundo debe conocer de los puertorriqueños?
So I use a lot. Estás al garete. Al garete, this is the phrase, you know, that it's my best friend in my daily routine. You know, if someone said to me, I'm thinking to buy a new car, I'm thinking to quit my job or whatever, I said, my answer is, estás al garete. And then I explain why. So, estás al garete is one of the best topics to add to the vocabulary.
Yeah, what I love about that word is that it can be a noun, it can be an adjective, it can be a verb, it can be... I mean, estás al garo, estás al garete, que al garo, diablo, que al garete.
Can change the tone and maybe it would be another meaning, como as you saying, you know, like estás al garo, estás al garete, todo al garete. So it could be, with the tone could be meaning anything else.
It's so funny because I've used that word with other Latinos here, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Algaro, pues claro, algaro, porque tú que algarete." And they're like, "What does that even mean?" And then I'm like, "Well, it's just crazy. I don't know how to even define the word, right?"
You're crazy. You're a little bit crazy.
Right? It's a crazy thing that you did. You're crazy. Whatever is crazy. It's just out of this world. Carlos, I just wanna shout out the way I got to meet you, right? So last year, for everybody out there, I was hosting a New York Latino Film Festival in Puerto Rico with Nicole Chacon, and Nicole Chacon has been working with you for your book, right? If I'm not mistaken, and Nicole Chacon was with your sister-in-law.
That's right.
And I was talking to your sister-in-law, and she was like, "Well, yes, my brother-in-law has his book," and she started showing me everything. And then one thing led to another, and she's like, "Well, Eric is gonna work with us, or is in works to work with us, right?" At that moment, And I was like, Eric. Obviously, I know Eric. I've known Eric for years now here in Atlanta, and he was actually on the podcast. So it's so funny that one thing led to another, and we started talking, and then you're here.
Yeah, it's the best things to start a new year with networking and as you said, una cosa lleva a la otra. That is
Yeah.
important. That is the good stuff of always going to this event and follow because the networking. I repeat, the networking is very important when we are chasing this career.
Yeah, that's right. It's so important, and I wish and I hope everybody understands that it's hard to get out of the house, right, and just go to an event and be like, dress up or this and that. But it is so important to do it because that's when you're gonna meet the fellow artists. You're gonna meet other people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, or you're gonna meet other collaborators, right, or people who are gonna help you get to another place, and you can help them get to a different place. And that's the beauty of that. That's the beauty of networking. That's the beauty of creating and collaborating. At the end of the day, we all work towards one thing. So it's very important to get together and to understand that.
And I have an advice to all people that are starting, writer, actor, directing, whatever. In this kind of event, try to avoid that voice in your head that said, "You do not know anybody. Don't go." Oh, you have to go. You have to create that connection with and that people know you, what we're doing and capable of. So it's very important. So try to avoid that piece of voices in our head that no dice cosas negativas.
Yeah, that little voice there, we get to ignore it and just do what we want. Okay, Carlos, so let's go back in time to little Carlos Daniel. Where were you raised?
Carraízo.
Carraízo. Yeah. Carraízo. So growing up, how was the arts around you? Like, looking around, were you involved in arts in general growing up as a kid?
I have a uncle with an art teacher, but in my house there will be athletes, sport, baseball, basketball. So I start in the baseball sport, and I like the music also. But one of my uncle was dating with this girl that was working on the small video club in Trujillo Alto. And when he was visiting her, I was sitting down watching movies. So I always ask to myself, what happened with that character after the story?
Yeah.
What happened? I used to watch a lot Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude, Steven Seagal. I was asking always that question: what happened after with the story? Where goes this character? And playing in the music, so music, sports, and movies. So in Casa Abuela was always La Plena, salsa, and rock. And you have to go to with the grandfather going to the catch the corn, la caña de azúcar, and have the time to play. And I also I always around about the sports, music, and movies.
I love that. So when do you think you started like having that esa chispa of like creating, of like, oh, storytelling?
Well, one of my uncles, the little one, I have 9 uncles, so the little
Jesus.
one, the little one, she likes the movie, and she brought me to see the Batman Returns.
Ooh.
From Tim Burton, and that was
Mm-hmm.
like Tim Burton.
The best one.
And then I saw like, wow, the shadow, the atmosphere, the structure of the story, how dark was this character. I was seeing Batman with Adam West, campy, funny, colorful. Then you change. I start with Batman Returns, and then go back to the first one with Jack Nicholson.
With Jack Nicholson.
So Tim Burton was the first person creative that give me that click to start the road to storytelling. Then I saw Elder Scissorhands. Then I saw Hollow. I started. So Tim Burton is the one.
So Tim Burton was your first. What's your so do you think you get a lot of
First movie
inspiration?
was Tim Burton. Yes.
Yeah. So you get a lot of inspiration from Tim Burton.
Yes, I used to. I like very much Walter. My second novel was magic realism, and I tried to write from that style, como un tributo a lo que aprendí
Mm.
en la niñez. Pero when you're growing up, you start to knowing other stuff, other creators, other authors, other storyteller, and you're searching for your own path and. That was it. But Tim Burton was the first one that gave me that chance to look the stories, but from the other vision, from the other side. How can you tell a story, but at the same time make this wonderful world when the spectator turn off the TV, se quede pensando en ese character. I like that.
I've always thought about that, and that's what I like about Tim Burton, and that's what I like about a lot about like even when novels are turned to movies, you can see that more because you see there's a world there that the writer built, and you don't see that in just like a straight play or like a straight movie, right? Like I see that a lot from like when it's adapted from a novel, like or specific writers like Tim Burton again, like they create this world that goes further, right? Like que va más allá of like 1 hour or 2 hours of the movie that you watch. It's like you stay with that. Like for example, like Wicked. Like when I watched Wicked this past few days, I was like, oh my god, the world that they built and the world that they created. I just want to see more. I want to see every corner of Oz. I want to see every corner of the university because the world they built, it's so in there, and you're part of it, right? And you feel you're part of it, and you feel like, oh my god, like this is, I am in this place, I am here, and not everybody can do that, right?
It's a little bit difficult, but we can. All the people can write, but you have to understand your imagination and let it flow, and be. You can have the talent, but also it's very important to study and have a discipline with the with the creation also, because at the end of the end, it's una persona. It's that readers or spectators, that are going to buy your product.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect, that they choose your story to escape from their reality, to enter it to your characters, your plot, and you have to give them at least a good story that they no just entertainers, como que aprendan de un tema. You can do popular fiction, but inside your story of the popular fiction, you can slightly talk about racismo,
Mm-hmm.
social media, depression. You can like Joker. If you take out the makeup and all the stuff, it would be a great drama. That's the important. It could be a popular fiction, but if you write it well, if you create that story, you can do both as a creator.
That's why I think like the role you guys play as writers, it's the most important thing in when you're creating any project, right? A novel or a screenplay or a musical or a movie or even a poem or whatever you're writing. I think that the writer part is the most important thing, and not everybody can nail that thing, right? And it's you guys have such a responsibility behind what you're doing. So how do you ever sit down and think about the responsibility that you have when you're writing, or you're like, let's just put everything down that I have in my mind, or you just like, oh my god, like I should not talk about this, or I should talk about this topic specifically because it's so important in society today. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, and in the first book, I just wanted to write a story about the boxing promoter and talk about the team that maybe when we were young, we don't care about the future. I don't care to be saving. I don't care about whatever stuff because I'm too young, so I have time. But if you do not plan yourself for a future, that's what happened with Mario, with my character. 77 years and está a punto de perder la casa, no saving, he's broke, and how he has to go back to that family and friends um, to apologize about the all damage that he do in his years. So the second book after you getting mature, like a writer, and you said, okay, I just want to do commercial stories, but you start thinking, how can I give more to that reader? What is happening in society? How can I do my thought about some situation, and just start creating and developing more deeper character, more deeper objective plot, subplot, and you start, I know that the story is this guy that is running to get some whatever it takes, but how can I manage the story to the reader and said, when I close the book, I still thinking about that character. How can I put my reader into a machina of emotions, and they can laugh, be sad, cry, be appealing. The appealing is emotion. It's very important. So yeah, it's kind of como esa responsabilidad de no, it's not just entertain with the story.
Yeah.
What is the value in the deep pages of the story?
I love that you mentioned what is the value, because at the end of the day, yes, like you say, you write to entertain, but there has to have a meaning. There has to have an idea. There has to have something that moves the reader, right? In this case, to be like, oh, wait. So with that comes the next question. When you're writing, do you want the reader to experience the main character, what the main character is going through, right? Like that roller coaster of emotions. You want the reader to expect that and to feel that.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. In my second novel, Walter, it started with Kyle, the main character, received a call from his father has died. But Kyle just lost the connection years and years ago. So how many people do not talk with his father? How many people has living a life that my father and I just argue, and I don't want to have closer to him. So when the reader start reading this paragraph, this scene, it catches you, it transports you, like, oh my God, me pude ver ahí, I saw me in Kyle, and that is very important, because when the review get published, the readers, oh my God, you made me cry, you made me feel like maybe estoy mal, maybe I have to call my father, because through your story, I realized that I was, with the ego inside of me. Entonces, es bonito ver cuando.
Yeah. No, and with that, like, it's also like, it's also very universal, because someone has lost someone, at some point, right? Or it's gonna lose someone at some point, no matter if it's your father or someone close to you, right? And I think that will still make the reader feel like, oh my God, like it just reminded me of when I lost this person, or the fight I just had with my dad, or with my mom, or my sibling, or my partner, or whatever. I think it's very important to play with those topics of reality, right? Of like, this is real. This can happen to anybody. With that, but you also play with a little bit of fantasy, right? Especially in your recent book.
Los Secretos de Belmont, it's pure thriller. It's
yeah. Oh.
That I like. I thought that the first three books I wasn't prepared enough, to write a good story, a good thriller that keep on the ride to the reader. So I explore others' gender, like drama with the first Caída, Magic Realism, Walter, and Walkie Talkies are mysterious but adventures. It's like a tribute to the Goonies,
Mm.
Super 8. It's kind of, those kids or kids that are going on the adventure, that what is happening every night when the lights go out, people are disappearing. So what's going on in this town? So ya Los Secretos de Belmont is most mature, 21 plus. It's more detective style, like
Oh.
a secret. Toca un poquito de lo que es, por ejemplo, Stella Hudson is a journalist that she wants to make justice for the people, but she realized that the papers and the headlines are only selling the stuff, or the news going, or the news goes to the rich, the healthy people. But what happened with the Latinos? What happened with the people that the economy is not that great? So you cannot give justice to there. So the missing son of a Colombian mother that goes to America to work, so it doesn't matter. So she entonces went to the internet, because the story goes in the 2008, and where social media was that
Wasn't a
big deal.
thing.
So was AOL, MSN, Yahoo, the blogs. So Stella goes to the internet and became that the voice for the people that need hope. She hunt those rich people that take se disfrazan de cordero,
Mhm.
santo. So Stella goes and unmask it with all the dirty things that they do.
The dirty secrets and the dirty laundry. I love that. So what inspired you just to write Los Secretos de Belmont? What made you go? Because you said like the first when you wrote the first three books, right? You were not still ready to write this. So what made you feel okay? I'm ready now to write about this specifically.
You're never ready to do a big project. If you let if you try to be, that your prey will be perfect, that's not going to well. You're going to die hoping to make a prey. So you have to know when you have the la herramienta necesaria
Mm.
to just jump. So today Netflix, Amazon Prime have a lot of thriller story. So I just no quería solamente bring a thriller. So a thriller, hero versus the antagonist. Like we talked before, what is the theme? What is the deeply character? How the reader is going to appeal with my characters, with my problem. So all start with a call. What if you have 25 years and you have been 15 years apart, trying to make it big in LA as a screenwriter and avoiding your family because it's not that good. You have two jobs. You work on a sparrow, but you lie to your family. No, I have in the set. Tomorrow I have to go and tour. Always excuses not to see you. But what happened with the 25th birthday? You receive a call that your mother has disappeared. And you have to go back to that little town when you saw something that is hunting you when you was a child. So that's one character, and I said that I like that story. I think that it's going to be a good storyline and hook to a reader. And I started asking what if then, and I realized that I have a whole chapter, a whole storyline, a whole outline. And I said, okay, now I just don't want to write about one character. I will introduce two more characters for the first time. I was writing with 3 point of view. So I add Stella Hudson. Quería mostrar cómo era la mujer buscando trabajo en esos tiempos. They have to face, like an example. There's a scene that she got called to work as a journalist. La Plaza, el anuncio said 60,000. But when she got the interview, the editor-chief said, well, you will pay 40,000. And she said, why? Because in the paper, in La Plaza, dice 60.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a woman, so I don't know if you're going to write a good story. But if you want to go to that amount of money, and he puts his hand on the shoulder, we can do maybe side business, meaning like a sexual harassment, no? Entonces, I like that character. How she will show to the readers today how was back then, because there was no social media. Back then you have to or go to your house crying or soportar.
Yeah, literally.
And the third character was Ivan Lazarte. I always want to make a detective character, but not the type of James Bond, Jason Bourne, or the perfect one. This detective means a lot. He's not good, fighting, disparando.
Mm-hmm. Like he's not good shooting, yeah.
Good en la perfilación de criminal, investigating, putting the puzzle, the right pieces. So that's the three character. He's going to retire. Again, he received a notice when someone said, I need your help because I know what happened. And I have the name of the three rapists that killed your mother. So, but you have to come to Belmont. These three characters are living his life, but the past always hunted them. So they have to return to Belmont.
Okay. You sold me out with this. I love it. I love there's a trio of characters in there, and everybody has a meaning, has a reason, right, to be there and to be part of the story too, because again, we don't put characters because of it, right? Like you place these characters there specifically because they all have a role to play at the end of the day, right? So you mentioned Belmont, and the story is called El Secreto de Belmont. So does Belmont plays an important role in the story in terms of like does it act like a character? And how did you work that way? How do you make it work?
Absolutely, Belmont is another character, or maybe I don't want to spoil anything, but you have to read it. But maybe in some kind of way, the protagonist is the town.
Ooh.
And all these three characters are supporting the story.
Ooh.
I always wanted to make a town from zero, so I put this town. My sister lived in Puerto Rico in some urbanization that calls something Belmont, and I like that name. I said, well, I will write about this town outside of North Carolina. Like a small town, and I can make this town with all I have seen a little bit of pieces. Like a marina, like a Plaza Mayor, like a Bosquecito, that town that is 2008, but in the Belmont, they still have a Radio Shack. They still have the movies are 5 years past. It's like stuck in the past. Like
okay. Oh, I love
around America, but
mm-hmm.
the Belmont they still the 1992. So that type of town.
So you created a Gotham or a Smallville, right? Which is in comparison to the first movie you watch, Batman, right? Talking about that, like the way that they created Gotham, which is fake, obviously, but it's based on. You created Belmont, and you did it because you said, I'm gonna create a whole town, and this town is gonna have specific things that's gonna make the town be Belmont, right? That's incredible. That's incredible, and because it's so interesting when you put a town, when you make a setting be the main character of all this, and make all this go around it. So can you explain like like how do you make that happen as a writer for all those writers out there? I mean, I don't want you to put your tips. I mean, just say some tips. Don't spoil your creativity, right? But but how do you make that happen? How do you make a good setting play an important role in any story?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know if it is my background of screenwriter, because I have the study of screenwriter that you have to, when you write a novel, I always start with a storyline using the question, what if? What if? What if this guy is going to the podcast but then has a carjacking? I start always with that question, and then I make a outline with with chapters. Then I'm going to the profiling characters, and I start. Okay, I don't want to do character from that. Okay, bald, beard. I start, making all the characters, and then I spend like 3 weeks, the atmosphere, the town, the colors, and I imagine to myself that I am the DP. I will be the DP of the story, and I to picture. I like to have a pizarra.
Uh-huh.
Okay, my character will be. I put photos of actual actors.
Ooh.
They're going to
Yeah.
play my novel, and then pictures of cities, rivers, structures, places that I went to traveling. So I put all of them, and basado en eso, based on that, I start my atmosphere, giving my creativity, giving the way that I wanted to show the readers how it's going to be in the paper. I always said in my promotions of the book tours that you're in my novels, you're not reading a novel, you are en la sala de un cine.
Ooh.
That's more like sentence. That's not sentence. That's going to be you're reading, but in your hand you have a movie, because you
Yeah.
can feel, taste, smell, and be there. It's very visual. I write very visual in my structure.
I love that you say that, because you're very clear in what you're putting out there, right? Like in order for the viewer to understand, you have to understand it first, right? You have to visualize it and you have to put it down. It's like even when even when I'm acting, right? When I'm on stage or something, people say, "Oh, like if you don't see it, the audience won't see it," and that is actually right. What I'm visualizing, especially in theater, that you don't see everything. So I have to, if I'm seeing someone die, in my eyes, and it's not happening on stage, but I'm seeing that, I need to sell that to the audience in order for them to understand. It's the same way as when you write. So you have to understand what you're writing about. You have to understand every detail, right? That of the town, like the river is this way, or the clock is ticking, it's 12 or 1. You got to see all this in order for the audience to feel part of it, because it comes back to what we were talking in the beginning, how the main character, how you feel what the main character is feeling, right? So in order to achieve that, you have to be very specific with what you put down there.
Yeah, making a movie, making a script is less, because you have all departments, teams that are going to take care of that. When you're writing a novel, when you're writing a book, the words become the camera, but you cannot show every time. There are times that you have to tell to get moving, get the pace, but there are certain scenes that you have to show to make that feel of cinema, and the reader said, "Oh my God, I'm seeing this. I'm there with the character." So it's a little bit tricky, but as you write, you will know what sentence are dragging the rhythm, and what sentence has to be worked to take that feel and tone of cinema.
Oh, that just gives me chills, because I love that you say that, because word that just tells you that words are so important. Words can make you feel. It's just not, because it's like you said, it's easier to feel something when you're watching a movie, right? It's easier because you're seeing it. It's out there, right? You see someone die, you see it literally. You see someone get murdered, you see it. But when you're writing that, you have to you have to be very careful how you put it down there in order to achieve what you want to achieve as a writer and as a storyteller, and that's not easy. And that's just like,
For example, if you want to bring tension to this scene, you can write how a hitman kill the victim, but you can write the same scene from the perspective of the wife being seen and listening how
listening.
husband is getting killed, the screams, the hitman tell me you're going to die, you have to, and you elevate the tension of the scene by moving the the scene from the hitman's point of view to the victim's point of view, and you can play with both sides. So it's very good. And Walkie Talkie, there's one scene that this character going con el carro en un camino bien oscuro, and I can write the policeman lost the dark road, but I put the police travel to that place where the full moon hunted the victims, water or whatever. So it
gives you that.
You don't have to write the darkest road. You can play with the full moon. Ya con eso la gente sabe que es de noche.
Yeah.
It only brings the night, but what happened with the full moon? The shadow, the forest getting creepy. You can see faces on los troncos. Y es como que wow, that scenes elevate. The style of cinema elevates in that.
Yeah, it elevates and it makes the reader be there. It makes the reader be present, because you're gonna be like, wait, oh, this means this, right? It's not as easy as reading it. Okay, you just told me everything I needed to know, right? But it just makes you analyze. It just makes you understand. It just makes you be present. It just makes you be like, oh, wait, moon. Oh, dark. Oh, it's night. Booms, right? And it just makes it more entertaining, right? When you're reading something, it just makes it like, oh, I discovered something. Oh, wait, I discovered this. And I love that about writers who do that, because it's just, that's why people come back to those writers, because they're like, oh, there's always going to be something that I have to unravel, that I have to understand, that I have to like analyze. And that's the beauty of it. That's why we read, right? We read for the certain pleasure. Yes, we do that too, but we also read to get to know more, to understand things, to learn. And that's the beauty of it. And I love that you use that in your writing.
Thanks.
Yes. So Carlos, let's go. I know we started talking about the novel, but it's just beautiful, and talking about writing. But when did you decide, oh, I'm gonna be a full-time writer? Is that something you as a writer decide at some point? I've always been interested about writers. When do you decide this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, or this is my career?
I decided like 2016. I wrote for Vicente Castro, an assistant director to WAPA.
Oh, nice.
2 movies. But in Puerto Rico, the industry, it's a little bit complicated.
I know about that.
But in that time, 2016, más todavía. Now it's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, definitely.
More opportunities or whatever. But
I was en la UPI by 2016.
Vicente Castro led you to work 2 projects only, because there were so many people that want to, take the experience of work on the set.
Mm-hmm.
And so I leave all the creative life, take all other jobs, and one day, we have to pay bills. And one day I was working as customer service in a bank, and I said, "What the fuck am I doing, man? I don't. I respect the job, but I was thinking I have to do more. I have to tell stories. So if I cannot work in the movie industry, I will write popular fiction. Maybe in the books, novel, popular fiction. It's about 75% of adapting always the works to TV, to cine, and said, let's try this. That's right. So en el 2017, I take all my vacation days and I went to New York to go to the workshop of the Gotham Writers. And I haven't had that idea of the boxer, the promoter Caída, and I learned the difference because it's a lot. It's other word, like I said earlier, of write a script, que es menos, it's at least, and the structure of the novel. So I took the course for 2 weeks, and then I started with all this masterclass, and I never stopped of study. Always going searching for what can I learn more, what can I do better, how can I improve myself? Because in every book, the readers evoluciona
Mm-hmm.
you as a writer. So you have to show them something new every time. That's my purpose. That's my objective. Like I want to always be myself, have my trademark, have my style. But I changed the third person. Now this book is third person. I never do a first person, but maybe in a good moment I do it. So.
Mm-hmm.
So in that time, when I came back and I published my book, my first book, Caída, I sold 457 copies, and when I saw the money that I earned, and I said, it's not that like I hire and live with this, but I said
Like it's not enough.
it's the first step. The first step. I can do a book a year. I can do. So I just quit to the job. And when I was getting too quick, the person said to me, hey, we are going. The company said we're going to introduce ourselves to social media, the blogs, etc., etc. Can you want to be the writer of all communications? Can you do the articles? Can you do the copywriter of the captions and all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why not?
You're like, that's it.
I was still writing, I was still writing.
Yeah.
50% fiction, 50% non-fiction.
Yeah. And you can make your money and pay while you also writing for your next novel, for your next book.
So, 2018 was un cambio 360 y a partir de ahí, I've been a full-time writer.
That's amazing that you get to work as a writer, do your thing, right? Get your books out. Also work as a copywriter, do your work too. You're writing, right? You're making your money. It's there, and you can use that money in order to make your projects. Which is at the end of the day what you want and what we want as artists, right? As creators, have the live happily, live healthy, have everything we need, but also do what we want. That's a perfect combination.
Yeah, a long time ago, I was listening to Mikel Santiago. He's a Spanish writer, thriller, and they say, what is the difference between a bestseller author or author that has a book de éxito de venta? ¿Cuál es la diferencia de ser bestseller o un éxito de venta? Y él dice, bueno, when you get to the step of éxito de venta, you have the money to be, pagarlo,
comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, bestseller always, but como que over top de todo, pero that's the step that you wanna make, que your books sean leídos, tengan good reviews y cumplan, porque it's not okay. It's important, to make money, to pay bills and something and live, but you always want your fans coming back to your store and shoot out like, hey, you have to read this book. Hey, this is the author that I was talking about. Read it. That's a pleasure that nada te lo puede complacer. So, bien lindos ese feedback de los lectores. Y he recibido mucho lindo, de hecho, that I have to say in Spanish because
no, dilo.
Esta muchacha había cogido una bacteria y llevaba 40 días en el hospital y me dijo, when I read Walter, it makes that book makes me keep going again. Cry. Walter is the Kael is healthy character. Walter has una enfermedad en silla de ruedas, and Walter used the painting to see the life y las cosas más simples de la vida. So Walter becomes a master of this adult, that the adult piensa que vida cara, carro, lujo, y el niño le dice, no, 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 no. The most valuable things in life is enjoying the afternoon, good music, good company, eating your food. That's pleasure.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you get to experience that as a creator, right? Like as your job, what you're doing is changing people's lives, right? And that should be the ultimate and as creative at the end of the day, right? Like that's what you create. That's what you write. You want to change people's lives. You want to inspire people. You want to make people feel, right? You want people to feel. You want people to go through these feelings that your characters are saying because you're becoming a voice for them. And it's beautiful that you again like you get to experience this. Not everybody gets to experience this. And for people to see what you're telling, it just brings me back of Jonathan, I forgot his last name, who wrote Rent. I don't know if you know Jonathan something. You know Rent, the show, the play, the musical, huh? So he died the night before his best show, which was Rent, made it to Broadway officially. So he never got to experience what people feel today. They made a movie about it. It's every theater person knows it, and it has changed lives because it talks about AIDS in New York and everything that was happening in the 90s. And so that's why I say we should be so grateful of just receiving, of just being able to listen and to hear what we're doing with our work. So I just want to say thank you for shaping lives and this is the whole point of this podcast, right? Like for people who are thriving and doing what you're doing.
Oh, and thank you doing this podcast and become the bridge of our voices and llegando a los rincones que tenga que llegar. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you too. It's just beautiful, and that's what you're doing. So you definitely have done it as a writer, and you are doing it, and I'm always so proud of seeing people doing that, of people reaching their dreams, and much better than for them to be Latinos, right? And Boricuas even more. But yeah, you're definitely doing it, and I know this is only the beginning. And talking about Los Secretos de Belmont, I heard somewhere, I read somewhere that you may get an English adaptation to the book. Is that real?
That's real. It's called Ashes of the Month. It's the new, it's the English title for the book. It has been a wonderful experience meeting Eric, meeting Laura Alemán. Those people are, no tengo palabras para poder expresarlo. Eric he's a great writer. Like when he took the project, I thought, well, this translation will be like 3 years, maybe 2. Then 4 months after, he said, I finished. So I will share it to you. And we got a meeting, and he said, okay, I keep, truly to your voice, but there are some sentences that I reorganize, to make more sense to the American market, because this is the structure that they want, that will be to have a good result. And he kept my voice. That was amazing, because I sent the manuscript to beta readers that have read the Spanish version, and they say, oh my God, it's another book with your style, with your essence, with the same story, but there are some kind of scenes that got esa profundidad para que bregue en el mercado y es como que fue algo bien lindo. Entonces, one of the best things that they say to me that there are two kinds of tell the story when you translate. You can translate like literally translate the product and have no effect, but we can interpret like Guillermo del Toro desde el título, ¿sabes? El laberinto del fauno tenía un nombre, lo puso Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Because you have to work and know that market where you're going to. And so I have been learning a lot. Like I said, Eric is an excellent person. Laura también has true. They are always in contact because we have plans, for book signing tour in the U.S. I started sharing this book because when Laura finished to read the book, that she loved the story. She goes, okay. People have to know this thriller.
Yeah.
More than a thriller, it's three characters. There are a lot of things in society today in the 90s and still having those problems. And it's wonderful how you make all of these plot twists because every chapter you start in it's like a coming of age. You start the past of this character, 2-3 scenes. Then I have una oración que se repite, que es como si fuera Belmont talking to you, like I say, come back home. And then we go to the present story in every character. And
that's beautiful.
At the end, all the lines, all the story connect, and you see why they have to come back. So Laura went crazy about the story. He said, you have a big potential. So the first thing we have to do is translate.
Yeah, I love that. So is it gonna come out this year? The translation? Is it coming this year? The translation?
Yeah, we want to. Yeah, that's all. It has been edited. We're talking about now for the book cover. If we still have with the same Spanish cover, or we change some details, colors for U.S. market.
Oh my God! So for people who are still waiting for the English version but want to get the Spanish version, where can I get it right now?
Okay, right now it's available on. You can go to bookstore online. Redmark. They send by mail. Bookmark. Redmark.
Redmark.
Está en Casa Norberto, Plaza Las Américas.
Plaza América.
Library here. La Casita Books, la Sin Aguadilla.
I know that one, yeah.
On del Lector en Camuy. They ship to US.
Nice.
Lomos y Letras, también ellos hacen envío. There's in Puerto Rico, there's un nacimiento nuevo de librería.
De librería.
Also online bookstores. We have a boom, so that's good for authors because they have the opportunity to send it outside Puerto Rico, so that's good.
Me encanta. So para esos que quieran leerlo en español, ya lo pueden leer en español. For those who are waiting for the English one, it's gonna come out this year, so please stay tuned because I'm excited. I'm excited, Carlos, for what's about to come, and I'm also excited that this can be adapted to TV one day. And you never know, and
Never know.
yeah, and when that happens, remember me, right?
Yeah. You are one of the first in the list because I like to pay forward. Appreciate this is the first time that I do an English interview.
Oh, come on, look at you.
Yeah, the first one. So the 2025. Este año empezó ready with the.
Yeah, this is it.
With the English version got published. I have worked into the second book of the series of Vermont.
Ooh.
This year also, and the first interview in English. So 2025, oh my God.
Oh, so this is the year, man. This is the year. Tal garete. Love that. Okay, so now we're gonna jump quickly to Ruleta time, okay? And you're about to see, it's gonna be La Ruleta, right? And whatever topic you get, that's the question I'm gonna be asking you. Okay.
You're on.
So let's do this. So you see that ruleta? We're gonna spin it. And we'll see what you get. So you get song. Okay. You get song. And the question is, so you're gonna guess this song, okay? I'm gonna give you this song by Shakira became a global hit in 2006 and was even performed in the FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup. You know that's what song is it?
I don't know the name, but I know the song. Waka Waka.
Aha, Waka waka, yeah. That's it, yeah. That's it, you did it. Booms! Point for you. Ah, you remember the rhythm? You're like, wait, what?
Living La Vida Loca from Ricky Martin that was top hit like 2 years on the road.
And people were like, what's the name of it? It's just, oh, Living La Vida Loca. Oh, there it is. Ah. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see what other topic you get. And you get entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be fun. Entertainment. Okay, the question you get for entertainment is. Oh my god, you're gonna know this one, which is fun. Which iconic director, known for his fantasy films such as Pan's Labyrinth and The Shape of Water, is from Mexico?
Yeah, you know that.
Eso! This question was meant for you. I love it. This question was for you. That's it. That's it. Okay, let's do the last one. Let's see what you get. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, you get food. Let's see how much you know about food. Okay. What spice blend originating from Central America gives chorizo sausage its red color and unique flavor? ¿Qué especias le dan ese color rojo a la carne? And it's not sazón.
Achote.
Aha, you got it.
Oh.
That's it. I love how you were just like achote. You got it. Come on, you know about music, entertainment, and food. There it is. Carlos, thank you so much. I want you now to give an advice for those young writers out there, right, who are thinking on doing this as a full-time career, or just write in general. What do you tell them?
Attached to your discipline, to your belief, and no matter what, keep studying because as a medicine, as a technology, the creative, old writer, photography, whatever department, evoluciona always. You have to study always because you will have that acknowledgement to become better and creative. So attach to your belief. So that's my advice.
Attach to your belief. I love that. I think this is the first time I hear that said like that, and I love it. Attach to your belief, right? Like, stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. Do what you feel. Do what you want in terms of like do what you believe in, right? Like don't write about something that you don't want to talk about, right? Talk about what you know.
And you will have in el camino people that will say for family or friends that you're crazy. You want to write, you want to be a photographer, you want to be an actor, whatever. And you will know that there are people that make it big, and there are others that make it. As you said before, no tan reconocido, pero they live and work in this.
Yeah.
So you have to try it by yourself. So for para lograrlo, you have to keep to your belief.
And to keep it, yeah.
That's the only advice I can say.
I love that. Carlos, thank you for being here. Where can people find you in social media? Where can people find more about your books and more about the English version coming this year and also the second part?
Okay, all my promotional news, you can go to Instagram, Carlos Daniel Author. Also, my Spanish novel is in Amazon, Los Secretos de Belmont. So in this year, we are going to release the English edition, Ashes to Belmont. You have to stay tuned to my social media, like I said, Carlos Daniel Autor Instagram, and also the second book of the series. That in summer we're going to reveal the book title for mine.
Okay, I'm excited for all of this. This is gonna be a great year for you. And now I need to read. And now I need to read the book. I need to read the novel. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna read it. So everybody out there, please read the novel. Please keep supporting our Latinos who are shaping the industry, who are changing, who are telling stories from their hearts more than anything, and putting things out there that shows the reality of what we're living today. So thank you, Carlos, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Lights Camera Latino, the podcast. Remember to follow us on our social media, Lights Camera Latino, Angel Fabian Rivera. Also, remember to follow Carlos Daniel Author. And with that, I always like to end things with this phrase that says, when life knocks you down, levántate con más fuerza, keep fighting. Hasta la próxima. This was Lights Camera Latino with Carlos Daniel. Thank you.